Tonight, candidate Jay Jones talked to our Matthew Torres for the first time since last week's debate.
Yeah, with the race neck and neck, as you saw right there, he is fighting to keep his campaign alive.
In his only debate against Republican opponent Jason Miyares, Attorney General candidate Jay Jones apologized for old text messages that have overshadowed his campaign for weeks.
I am embarrassed.
In our first interview with Jones, we addressed those messages he sent 3 years ago that imagined a hypothetical shooting on a former State House Speaker.
Why did you send it in the first place?
Look, I've taken accountability for my actions, and people in Virginia deserve leaders who can do that. And we need leaders who are going to hold others accountable.
You've heard from Republicans wanting you to step down after the text controversy, Mr. Jones. Why didn't you step down?
This race has never been about me. It's always been about the future of Virginia. And it's about what the people here in this Commonwealth deserve. And they deserve an attorney general who's going to fight for them every single day, who's going to step up against the excess, chaos, and overreach that you're seeing in Washington time and time again.
The former Virginia delegate steered all of his answers on running against President Donald Trump and accuses Miyares of cowering to the administration and its policies. Despite the scandal, Jones says his priorities are protecting school district funding from federal overreach, reducing violent crime, and lowering prescription and housing costs.
These are the things that we continue to hear from people as we move around this Commonwealth, because they are struggling in these really challenging economic times. And this office is supposed to be working to offer them solutions.
As he tries to pivot his campaign to focus on policies that matter, Jones is also having to address questions if he properly cleared his community service hours for a 2022 reckless driving charge.
Can you clear up any of those allegations?
Well, look, I've taken accountability, and I paid a substantial fine and did a driver improvement course, and the hours that were reviewed and accepted by the Commonwealth's attorney and the general district court judge in New Kent.
Recent polls show since the scandal, both candidates are now tied, or Miyares is leading by a few points.
What else can you do or say to maybe tap into those who may be undecided?
Well, look, we always knew that this race was going to be close. Virginia is a battleground state, but I will tell you that Jason Miyares is the only one who's been endorsed by Donald Trump. We need leaders who are going to step up and fight back and fight for us, and I will do that. I'm not scared of the president.
Jones seems confident his differences from his Republican challenger is what will ultimately help. Matthew Torres, WUSA9.
And you can look for more of Matthew's conversation with Jay Jones and our interviews with Republican Attorney General candidate Jason Miyares on our website, WUSA9.com. And tune in tomorrow night at 6:30 for a brand new episode of our election special, Virginia Decides.